Somewhere between the edge of being alive and feeling dead.
Alright, so you're scrolling through your favorite Instagram or social media site and you're looking at some beautiful mountain pictures and you click one that you like and you're just looking through saying, wow, that's a beautiful area. I would like to hike there. I would like to find out where that is. How do I get to this place? And you look in the description, it says, oh, look, that's Erg Mountain. So you end up taking a look at your favorite backcountry website. We're at hiking.princegeorge.tech and we type in Erg Mountain. And we're going to get all the details on this hike. So we scroll down and we click Read More, Erg Mountain in northern BC. And we get over here, and as we scroll down, we see, hey, look, there's a track. So next thing we do is we click on this little details link up here, and lo and behold, you can download the track, the GPX file. So let's download that. And to the downloads folder, Erg Mountain, northern BC, something or other. So we've downloaded it, and the question is, now what? And that's really what this video is about. We're going to talk about how to route find, how to use tracks, how to find your way around the backcountry. So the first thing you're going to do is hit up Google. You're going to type in backcountry route apps. And this is going to kind of show us a list of some apps that you can download on your cell phone, you can use on a desktop, whatever. We have Onyx, we have GaiGPS. There's a bunch of others in here. Some people use Strava. There's a lot out there. Today we're going to focus in on GaiGPS simply because that's the one that I use and find it very useful. And there is a free version of GaiGPS, just has limited features. So with that, let's get into it. So we're going to start off just going to the website, and it's GaiaGPS.com. And I've gone ahead and set up an account already. So there'll be a link here to create an account, and I went through that whole process. I'm not going to show that here. Very similar for all the different apps. Once you're in and you've logged in to the account that you've created, we're going to take a look here. And remember, in this previous step, we downloaded a GPX file. It's like a track. So the next thing we're going to do here in GaiaGPS, there's a little button here called Import Data. So we're going to go ahead and click that, and you can see these are the files that it supports. And we are going to click Select Files, and we downloaded it to the Downloads folder. And there it is, Erg Mountain, northern BC. We're going to go ahead and click OK. And lo and behold, we have a track brought into the map here on GaiaGPS. And over here, we're just going to click Save. And it's going to bring in all these different points as well as the entire track. And now I have this on my map, my own personal map. I'm going to go ahead and click this 3D button just to kind of show a better view of this. You can kind of see, you can zoom in. I'm using the middle mouse button to zoom in and out, and I can change the angle, almost like Google Earth. You can see there's some lakes up there. Over here is another big lake over there. And this is sort of the beginning of the track and climbs up the mountain, etc. So that's pretty cool. So what I can do now is I can install the app on my phone, GaiaGPS, just download it from the App Store and log in with the account that I created in this step here. And this map should show up. So I have this little simulator over here, which is showing kind of a fake cell phone, and but it's logged into the same account. So yeah, so one thing I have to do is I have to synchronize the information on the cell phone to whatever changes I've made from elsewhere, whether I've done it from a computer or another cell phone. So the way I'm going to do that, I'm going to click on Settings. I'm going to click on account, and I'm just going to click the synchronize button. And once that finishes, that map should show up in my map. Might take a while to do that synchronization. And we can see all these points in here. And yeah, I'll just click on the route down here. I didn't give it a name. I can go ahead and click edit. I can call this Berg Mountain Trail. Get rid of the old name, click save. Okay, and let's take a look at this on the map now. Show on map. I just double clicked it, and lo and behold, right, I did it here. Now it's showing up on my cell phone. So once again, I can kind of zoom in and I can scroll around. I can go into 3D mode. I do not want to pay, whatever. So anyway, now one thing, this is called the topographic map view. One thing you can do, even in the free version, is switch to satellite view. Now that one is premium. I believe there's another free satellite view. Let's see if it's the same over here. Layers. Okay, there is a free Mapbox satellite view. I'll go ahead and pick that, and now you can see you've got sort of the satellite overlay. And let's see how we can get that done. In here, I don't remember how to find it in this view, but as you saw on the desktop, I had actually, I guess it's already done it here. Funny enough, here we have this view, and it's synchronized those settings over to the cell phone here. All right, so it says I'm viewing a premium layer in preview mode. Okay. Anyways, that's just showing the synchronization. Now, when I'm ready to start recording where I am, well, first of all, let's just look at a few things. I can click on this little arrow here, and that's going to zoom into where I am now. Of course, I'm on a pretend cell phone here, so that's not going to work, but that would zoom to your exact GPS location of where you are. So now let's go back to Erg Mountain. Okay, let's go back here, show on map. All right. So you can click this little arrow. It'll go to where you are. You can start recording a new track by clicking this button up here. You click on it, and it says, what are you doing? Hiking, off-roading, biking, whatever. And it's going to start tracking wherever you move, and it's going to create a new track. So you can kind of look at where you are. You can track where you've walked in case you go off trail, but you can also take a look at a little arrow that's moving as you move and just make sure that you're staying on the track here. So I'm just going to cancel this out. I'm going to delete the track. That just shows, once you click it again, you can save it, you can give it a name. But we're just going to zoom in here. And you'll be able to track yourself as you move through that map. So I'm just going to do this on the desktop because it's a little bit easier for YouTube to show this. So again, as you're moving through here, you will have another line that's moving, assuming that you've started recording where you're going, and it's going to show if you've gone off track, and you can know whether to move left or right to stay on the trail in case you happen to lose it. So that's kind of very basic steps in terms of installing an application like GaiGPS, how to grab a track from some location on the internet, pull it into the map. If I close this out and come back in, it'll be here. It's under my maps. I can zoom out really far and zoom in, and the map will be there. And as soon as I go to that area, I can start a new recording session, and I'll be good to go. And in this view, how do I begin the recording? I believe I click Actually, I don't think you can do it from the desktop because there's no GPS recording here. You have to do it from a device like this. So this is where I have this little icon. When I click record, it's going to show some various statistics here. Some of them will show the distance you've gone, how many meters you've ascended, etc. So it's keeping a live set of statistics as you move, and you can of course go back. So if I click on this track here, which I've imported, this is going to show that information I spoke of, 11.6, and this is of course using American measurements. I'll go into preferences and I'm going to change to metric. There we go. And because I'm in Canada, now it says 18.6 kilometers, how many meters were ascended, etc., etc., and how long it took, max elevation, all that kind of stuff. Very useful. So now I can take a track from a location someone's been. I can import it into my application. I can take a look on the cell phone and make sure I'm following closely to that track. And I can start recording my own track to see how closely I aligned to the trail, to see maybe how many kilometers up the trail I've been, and to make sure I'm staying on track. Now that's all fine and dandy, but one other quick thing just to show is let's say that I want to map out my own track. Okay, let's go to okay, here we go. So here I am. I'm in a city called Prince George, and I want to, all right, let's just say that I start off on this location and I want to find a way to get somewhere over here. So I will click on this little button here on the side called route. Okay, and there's different hotkeys, but I'm just going to ignore that for now. I can zoom in quite a bit here to the map, and I'm going to say I'm going to start right here. I click on this spot. I'm going to start looking at the terrain in the satellite view and say this is where I'm going to hike. Quickly sneak through these people's yards, and then I'm going to try to stay in the bush. I'm going to go into this gully here. I'm going to follow this gully, and up here looks like there's a quad trail. I'm going to follow that quad trail down this gully. And just by looking at the terrain, you can try to pick what the best route looks like. And there's a quad trail here that you can follow. And let's say that's the end of it. So now, just as I'm mapping this, you can see it says that's 2.83 kilometers, and it climbs 105 meters from beginning to end total. I can save it, and then I can have this pre-planned route just somewhere in the middle of the bushes. And then I can go ahead and create a track and try to follow this route because I've pre-planned my area that I want to go, and that's kind of just another neat thing you can do. So this is a introductory video just to show kind of how these route planning apps work, how you can pull in other people's tracks into the app, and then on your phone that route would show up here. So let's show that. I'm going to come back here to the desktop. I'll just save this like that. Okay, and I come over here to the phone. I don't think it's going to show right away because I haven't synchronized anything. So let's go to settings and then click that synchronize under account. And there it is. It's just synchronized. And now if I go back here, all right, there's my untitled route. Go ahead and click that, show on map, and lo and behold, there is the route that I mapped over here on my phone. Now I can go ahead with my phone and try to follow this route as I go hiking through these bushes. All right, so I should also mention in closing that the free version, there's obviously a number of important features that are missing, but when you click on this map icon down here. And I think if I go into click on the layers button here, you can see there's this button, Save Offline Maps. So in some of the versions earlier, you were not able to download offline maps. I'll click this in a minute and see if it works on the free version. If it doesn't work, then what that means is to use the free version, you kind of have to scroll into the track on the area of the map that you're going to do your hike and just leave your phone open. Don't close the app, and you'll be able to follow the track that way. But let's see if offline maps works on the free version. See, it says for offline maps you have to get the pro version, which I do have. So if I close this, does it download it? No, it doesn't. So just by having this open though, you can see that I'm able to use this, and as long as I leave I kind of scroll over to the area where the track is that I want to follow for the day, you can use this. Many people have used this. The app is pretty solid. I think in thousands of trips it's maybe crashed 2 or 3 times, so really not too much of an issue. But if you're going to do some serious backcountry hiking and you need to follow tracks, you probably want to get the premium version, because then you can just click on this layer and save offline maps, and then you don't need a cell connection, and you can open the app and close the app and follow your track, and all the maps are downloaded to your phone, and you can use it that way. So anyways, just wanted to point that out as an important item to notice, and hope you guys have a great. So anyways, hope you guys get some value out of that. There's lots of videos out there showing GaiGPS different features, as well as many of the other apps that are out there. But hope this introductory helps you with your backcountry journeys.